This is Pro Wrestling's BFF, Nick Maniwa, and I'm joined by Reed Bentley.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Jess, damn you.
Damn it, Jess.
Aww.
You ruin everything we try to do with our lives.
Like, this is our first show, and you already ruined it.
Well,
this was the Bentley and Maniwa Variety
Show.
Show.
We're going to go ahead and pack it in now, thanks to old Mothhead.
So, good going, Jess.
Thanks a lot.
But seriously, this is our episode. This is our interview with me, Mitch Page. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Mm-hmm. And even though this is the intro, secret, tricky, we're filming this after the interview's already done. So, secret to the podcasting world.
And if you want to follow me on any social networks, at Nick Maniwa.
I'm at Just Be Sneeze. No,
she's
not,
at
not
Mothhead Supreme. I'm at the Reed Bentley on everything, as always.
And enjoy. Let us know. Feedback. We want it. Okay, bye.
Mush your dick. Well, we're here right now with our very first guest on our very first episode. IWA Mid-South star, Japanese deathmatch fame, Mean Mitch Page, everybody.
I wouldn't say all that stuff, but maybe IWA fan favorite.
Fan favorite, former heavyweight champion, former tag team champion.
You've done some things in your day, Mean Mitch Page.
We were like the independent Dudleys, weren't we? Like, what, 17-time tag team champions we were rolling?
I think so.
It was crazy. Man. Yeah.
Well, we've been talking. We kind of want this thing today. What we're trying to do. This is our first episode. We're getting the kinks out. We kind of want it to be conversational. We're here at Mitch's house right now, sitting at his lovely dining room table. His one son is on the couch right now. His newborn baby is
watching Shark Week.
Watching Shark Week. So we want this to be a very laid-back, easy format. A couple of things we've been talking about today. We were just talking about King of the Death, honestly, which, in your career, Mitch, has been a pretty big part. Death matches. King of the Death, everything you did in IWA was, a big chunk, a big portion of your career.
Yeah, and fun, too. A lot of people don't look at that style as just something fun to do, but, early on it was.
Why'd you get into like death matches? Was it for more money? Was it for more fame? Did you want the main event spot over the people that were in it? Or
honestly, I'm too fat to backflip, and I can't do all that, and I'm not pretty enough, so I figured do what I can do,
right.
And that's what I can do.
Because you originally came in and you were the couch potato.
The couch potato.
Mitchell Page.
Holy shit.
And I was around that time, but I was a small child. So
thank God you don't remember much of that.
Was it a lot of you did a lot of comedy stuff, right?
That's what they wanted to see. So
right.
That's apparently word got out that I'm a little bit comical, and Ian thought, you look like a couch potato. Well, thank you.
You did the people's leg drop, which then Blue Meanie stole from you and did it on ECW pay-per-view. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I've done I just would steal other people's stuff and just tell them it was mine. I saw it on TV.
Right.
As seen on TV was basically my finisher, and it was just other people's finishing moves I had seen, and you never knew when it was coming. Kind of like DDP. You never knew where I could hit it out anywhere.
Right.
You were the ditto of professional wrestling.
Man, that was... and King of the Death matches... I was like 2 nights of just hyper activity in the back. Everybody wanted to one-up each other, and I never wanted to do it. Every crazy thing you guys seen, coming off the balcony, I was met in the parking lot. Hey, I got this great idea. And whatever, man. We'll do it. Whatever it is, we'll do it. Just let me get in here and get calmed down and get ready. All right, next thing I know, I agreed to some shit I didn't even know what we were doing.
Right.
And we're up on the balcony. He said, you ready? And I said, for what? What's going to happen? Well, we did it. Shit. I'm glad I didn't know, really.
Right.
So,
For people that don't know, him and Corporal Robinson, he powerbombed Corporal Robinson off of a balcony through a stack of tables.
yeah, and I'm a big guy. That's a hard fall for a big guy.
That was when? That was what year?
2001.
2001, yeah.
If you've seen the CM Punk DVD, him and Chris Hero come off that same balcony. That's the balcony that they came off of.
Yes.
But imagine that in a power bomb. If you're Corporal Robinson, it was insane.
Yeah, and whatever you want to do it, hey, let's do it. It'd be fun.
I mean, and that was in the middle of your feud with Corp.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot of crazy stuff. Which match stands out? It's like your favorite. Which match did you think could be a little bit better, etc., like that?
Which one could have been better? The hot coals.
The hot coals.
But that is so damn hot.
Right.
I mean,
How would you
crowded,
have made it better?
limited space, very hot. People think just lit coals are hot. No, that is very hot. It could have just been done a lot better. We didn't know what to do,
Right.
and we were just, to be honest, there's points in it I felt like we were lost,
Right.
and it was just, what are we gonna do? Hell with it, man. They want to see it. I'm gonna jump in these coals. So, hey, how bad can it be? Well, it can be bad. It really was
really
hot.
bad.
It really did burn.
And you only had a singlet and a tank top on, or just the singlet.
Just a singlet.
Yeah.
And, those guys in the front row roasting marshmallows on the DVD, they're really roasting marshmallows. It's that hot.
Right.
And one of us had to go in it. I guess I drew the short straw. I had to go.
Was that probably the most painful thing you've done? Like, deathmatch-wise, was that the worst?
The worst plan. You going into it,
plan,
you knew,
like, going
okay, this
into
is
a
going to
match
suck.
Stipulation.
It wasn't like a weapon.
No, the
break.
worst planned was me dying in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. With getting hit in the head with a clock.
Well,
The worst feeling thing ever was even a death match. GQ Masters, if anybody remembers that,
HWA guy
broke my collarbone.
Oh, wow.
That was the worst fucking feeling in the world.
We'll get back to the clock incident for sure,
we've had
but
a lot of
what happened with the collarbone? And GQ Masters was maybe 150 pounds.
Yeah.
With half
Maybe.
of that was mullet. Half of that was mullet.
This is still argued to this day, and I will stand my ground 100%. I hear the words, duck, I'm sorry, I apologize. I hear the words knee. And actually, I take a knee, and I'm going to flip. All right.
Kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't hear the word high before knee,
Oh,
which is his argument, and I still say it never happened.
right.
It says it's like the grassy knoll. That did not. That was not there. Okay. As I come across, I lean over to take the knee to take my bump. Just not lean into it. I'm ready. I'm bracing myself. I'm a bigger guy.
Right.
I have to take this differently. As I leaned a little forward, I said, that's too high of a knee for me to bump like this. Spun me around, landed on my shoulder, snapped my collarbone. Boom, right here. Arm just drops. I can't lift it up. I can't do anything. But that's not the finish. And I'm not a pussy. So we're going to keep going. So we keep on for about 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, we're leading into it, but that wasn't it.
Right.
Maybe what seemed like 3 or 4 minutes. I believe I had an exchange on the apron, and at that point I couldn't throw a punch, so I knew something was wrong.
Right.
Did everything else. 1, 2, 3. I get to the back. I say, Ian, I think I did something to my arm. And when I took my shirt off, bone and everything
you
is
can
just
see.
it's broken.
Oh, wow.
Well, he said maybe it's just dislocated. So I let him, what I thought, set it in the hospital.
And
In the back. I mean,
and Ric Flair, or no, Harley Race has gone on record. I think he said it to Mick Foley. Never let the boys do anything to you.
Yeah.
None of them are trained doctors or physicians.
Ethan Rotten wore a lot of hats in IWA.
As you can tell by his bald spot, he wore a lot of hats. And
MD is one of them.
So I stood up and I said, hey, I think you did it, Ian. I went to give him a high five and my arm dropped. I said, well, I think something's wrong.
right.
So I had to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital.
Did you have insurance at this time?
I was an independent wrestler.
Was this past the point of having a real world job? Too?
I didn't have gas money at this time. I didn't have nothing.
Did you have a real job? You had a real job?
No.
No.
No real job. Just wrestling.
Oh, man.
And I was like, well, shit, I'll just go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. They x-rayed me. Said, hey, that's broken. And it looks like it's kind of ground up. If you guys been messing with this. And it's like, well, no. We're not stupid. I'm not going to mess with my shoulder.
Right.
And she goes, okay. So they fix it, everything. And again, doped me up real good and sent me home. So I was like, wow, this feels good. I can probably wrestle with this like this. They had me wrapped up and everything. And I remember going to bed that night, and my alarm went off. I had to do something the next morning. I'm sure it wasn't important, but I had to do something. And I went to roll out of bed to hit the alarm clock, and my bed was a little lower then. So I would normally put my arm down and then lean over and hit the, this is visual, not going to work on this, but picture it. And I couldn't put my arm down. I just ate the floor. So, man, I think I did something to this shoulder now. And I just laid there for, it seemed like ever, and finally, but that's the worst pain. Anybody can say whatever they want. That hurts. I mean,
because you can't do anything.
There's nothing
you can't sew it up. You can't do anything.
They just wrap you up real tight. It's like broken ribs.
Right.
They just wrap your shoulder real tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Oh man, we have just cut several minutes of things out, folks, that were just far too controversial.
Protect the innocent.
Yeah, for even us, myself and Nick Maniwa, I've said some things in our day, but we definitely want to move on to what everybody wants to know about. One of the most infamous things you've ever been a part of. It's on the IWA Sickest Deathmatch DVD.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's everywhere. The grandfather clock incident.
It was honestly, wow.
That was, 13 years ago? That was in 2000, right?
Yes, I had not been to Japan yet, and I was. Let's rewind it quite a bit. Normally, most people ask me about it, and I tell them I got hit, and they want to know all this. I don't really talk about all of it, so we're gonna go back.
Well, yeah.
Earlier that day, there was 4 of us riding around in a car. Me, Pondo, and a couple other people we knew. And we stopping at all these places. What we would do, we would do this all the time. We would go out and just ride around, and we would go to yard sales. We would go to thrift stores, anywhere. And we'd say, let's see what they got in here. We might use it. It would be pretty cool. So we stop at the DAV. You might know what I'm talking about, being familiar with that area.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay. The big DAV center. And it's for anybody that doesn't understand, it's just like a giant Goodwill or just a humongous thrift store.
The
It's
money
huge.
goes to veterans.
Yes.
Proceeds to that.
So we were in there shopping around, and we were finding things, and we're like, wow, wouldn't this be cool? Oh, we could use this. Oh my goodness, if we did this. And that's how it was all day long. And just like always on every story you hear, every whatever, the last item at the last store, at the last stop of the day, we pick up it wasn't a grandfather clock, but what it was a glass encased mantle clock to go on a fireplace. I remember it being just a small clock. That's why I kept saying grandfather clock, because inside looked like a hand-carved grandfather clock
like a little,
with a glass dome over it, or
right.
something, a glass something over it. And it was a mantle clock. And we were like, if you hit me in the head with this, sweet explosion. Now, I'm not the one that said this. Pondo said it.
Pondo was going to get
Yes. So we get there, and we're like, and you know me, whatever, you want to do it, you're a grown man. I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't do.
Right.
So we pick up the thing, cost I don't even think it cost $1. I really don't. It was just a cheap thing. We picked it up. We got in the car. We was leaving, and all day long, the two other people in the car would say, "I don't think I would use that. That looks stupid. I wouldn't do that. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Well, goddamn it, I'm a man. Shut up. Tell me what to do. Both of y'all, hush it." You know, it just silliness, and that's what they kept saying. I wouldn't do that. One of y'all's gonna get hurt. You can't hurt us. That's what I said. That was my words. I don't get hurt.
Words still, yeah.
I don't get hurt. Leave me alone. So that night, everything's planned out.
This is an outdoor show as well.
This was an outside show.
Ian needed fire doors or something, and he was trying to raise money to get fire doors for
This was a Charlestown.
I don't know the
it
whole
was something like that.
I didn't care.
So he ran on the back patio of the building.
We could run out back, and it was great because it was cool evenings, and it was just fun. We were underneath two big floodlights. It was well lit. It was great, actually. I wish there would have been a lot more people that could have seen it live.
Right.
Because if as many people would have seen it live that have now seen it on DVD, YouTube, or anywhere else, that would have been the shit.
Yeah. Well, the footage from those outdoor shows are what they said were the LWF shows on the Punk DVD.
On the CM Punk DVD.
So those actually weren't LWF footage. That was IWA outside shows.
Right.
These right here.
So I go to my buddy Roland, and I say, "Hey, I've asked Ian about this a couple times, and he's always said no. But he's also always said it's better to get forgiveness than permission.
Yep, I've heard that one.
So what we're going to do, I want you to fire up this weed eater and bring it to the ring because we're going to use it." At that point, other guys hadn't used a weed eater a lot.
This was
this was going to be at the end of the match.
Yes,
right?
this was the big finale.
Right.
Nobody knew what was going on. We were just told, you know what to do. Do it. There's my foot in the door. It's going to happen. So we were in what had happened. Roland had wrestled Ian the match before us. Mm-hmm. And they had a swimming pool full of barbed wire and rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, my buddy Kevin couldn't really deal with that smell. And I understood that because there's stuff I can't deal with.
Right.
But that has to come from something that happened in wrestling. It's not he tells that all the time.
What had happened, he took a mouthful of
yes,
rubbing
he
alcohol.
took a big bump into a pool full of alcohol, swallowed a lot of it, and so now just the smell of it really. And I knew that. Well, they had brought that pool in the ring and did a couple big bumps. Now the whole canvas is covered in alcohol.
Right.
So we go to the ring. Now this is the next match, or a couple matches later. We go to the ring, and the smell is just
still strong.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I mean, I don't even have a problem with it, and I couldn't deal with it. I mean, it's bad. I can hear it off into the distance. Roland was trying to fire up the weed eater. We wanted it to get going because we wanted them to hear it.
Right. Now,
this is very early in the match because something had happened, and the smell was getting the better of him. He couldn't deal with it. We worked for a little bit, and he said, "Hey, instead of you hitting me with that clock, I'm just going to hit you with the clock so we can get out of this ring. It's bad." I said, "Do what you got to do. Bring it on. Let's do this." I was always up for it. Let's do this. We know what we're doing. We're grown. Well, the next thing I know, bang. I just seen this flash, and I was like, all right. And I backed up. I'm on my knees for the bump. And I get this flash, boom, and I go, whoo, knock me for a loop. I think, man, it felt funny. I need to get out. I need to clear my head. So I got up and tried to walk away, and I couldn't. If you've seen the video, I get to my feet, and then I go sit down.
Yeah,
it was done. I had thought he cut my ear off.
That's what everyone thought. I was at the show live, and everyone was like, "That's his ear hanging off."
Kevin comes to Mark goes and hollers for referee. This I can get because I can remember bits and pieces from the DVD. I don't remember a lot. I remember Mark starts hollering for a referee. Kevin grabs me and goes, I'm sorry, I'll cut your ear off. Well, at that point, I think, my ear, I can live. You know, it's stupid, but what the fuck is Cactus Jack known for?
Right.
So this ain't getting my head wrapped up. But motherfucker did this right there. Well, that ain't a work, is it? He cut his fucking ear off. I thought, wow, that's great. This many thoughts went through my head that fast. So I grab it, I'm going to pull it off. Because my thought is it would look really cool if we got involved in some shit in the ring, you know? Oh my God, he put his ear in fucking dude's mouth. You know, all this was going through my head, and I'm like, holy shit, 17 people are going to see match of the decade because I'm putting my ear in this motherfucking mouth, and then I'll do the gimmick, boom, he'll bite my ear in half, and it'll be sweet. Doctors, this is 2000, doctors put that shit back on. So that's all going through my head, and then I'm just starting to get a little blacker and blacker, and I can remember Ian jumped up and put this something on my head, and he's like, holy shit, stay with me, talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Then I feel somebody grabbing at my crotch. I usually wouldn't care, but I thought I was dying at the moment. It was not the time for this.
Right.
I looked down, it's Ian's wife. It was Patty. I said, Patty, he's right here. He's going to see. We can't get around this one. And she kept unbuckling my belt. I said, well, fuck it. If it's what we're going to do, I'm going out like this, I guess. And then all this shit happened, and then they keep me sitting there talking, and they're taking the ring apart. And I'm like, wow, man. I'm looking out at the crowd. I'm seeing little kids crying. I'm like, what's she crying for? She don't even like me. That guy's spit at me before. You know what? These motherfuckers, I really emotionally touched somebody. Ambulance gets there, and they wheel me to the ambulance, and here's where all the secrets come out.
Oh, here we go. Exclusive.
Before the ambulance got there, everybody's asked me, did you take anything? Did you take anything? Did you take anything? No, I'm not fucking stupid. Well, who do I look like? I'm smarter than that. Well, we get to the ambulance. First thing the ambulance driver does when they put me in, he goes, are you on anything? Did you take anything? Well, this guy has a chance to save my life. I can't lie to him. I said, how about you shut these doors and get me going? So he shuts the ambulance doors. I go, yes. I'm on a handful of Tylenol. I took aspirins. I took a lot. He goes, so you're about to, I go, yeah, I very well could be bleeding to death. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He goes, okay. Boom. They turn on and get going a little faster. Now, I'm going to Charlestown, Indiana. I don't know much about it. I know the town. I don't know much about their medical facilities. I know it's not fucking, Johns Hopkins. I know the president doesn't go there.
It's at Cedars-Sinai.
I really doubt the governor or even the mayor of that town would go there. No. I don't know. So he goes, so how you feeling? What's going on? I said, man, my feet are really, really cold. He said, could be because we took your shoes off. I said, that's cool, that's cool. I said, but man, my legs are cold, my fingers are cold, and everything is black. Is it okay to open my eyes? Apparently I had my eyes open. I didn't know it. I was going out. Yeah. He said, oh my goodness. Then I heard the sirens, and then I don't remember nothing from there to being on a table and some shit. They need to do something. So all the other stuff's filled in for me from other people's accounts of pulling up and seeing them clean blood out of an ambulance.
Yeah, they had said it looked like a murder victim had been in the ambulance.
And the people I was living with at the time, this story, they come running up the sidewalk to check on me, froze at the ambulance because there's blood all over the place from me, and they asked what happened, and whoever it was cleaning the ambulance said, the guy they brought in here, they brought to the emergency, but they might be taking him downstairs. I don't think he made it. He's gone.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's what they told the people I was living with. She didn't really care to hear that.
Yeah.
So, a little this and that. They go in to check on me, and apparently I wasn't dead at that point. That's silly to say. Like, I was fine when they got there to check on me. They had my head in a vice holding this big, massive...
It was a skin flap. It wasn't his ear. It was it had sliced his head, and
it cut a whole bunch of stuff out that they said should have been cut out. Could be what's wrong with me now. I don't know.
Yeah, I did not know you pre-clock incident.
So yeah, I was very different. I was
You used to play piano.
yes, I
Read books.
real good with the violin, all kinds of stuff. Then, so I don't remember it too well, but Jim Fannin does, and he will tell you every time. Apparently, I was on a stretcher going somewhere, singing really loud. I don't even know the song I was singing. But it's some silly song, and they hear me all the way through the whole hospital, and they're like, oh, well, he's alive. That's good. So it was Uncle Honky. Remember Uncle Honky,
Yeah,
right?
Uncle Honky.
It was his very first night in IWA.
What
That
a
was
night
his
to be
first
there.
time ever. The man had no clue who I was. Didn't even know if Mitch Page was my real name. He sat in the hospital till everybody left.
What a
He
guy.
stayed there. And I've always, every time I think about that guy didn't know who I was. He stayed there.
It showed you the character of
Everybody.
Uncle Honky.
The ones who didn't make it to the hospital have always, every time they see me, man, I'm sorry I never made it. No, don't ever. You didn't want to sit there for that. That was horrible. You know?
Right.
I had a locker room full of friends there. A lot of the crowd came and sat at the hospital with me.
There was a lot of people. I even went up there with the car that I was in. There was there was probably 20 or 25 people in the waiting room just wanting to make sure he was not deceased.
So, the people that didn't make it, man, don't ever. You had stuff to do. But what the fuck was you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to sit on a chair with everybody else and be sad till I see me walk away?
Right.
I had a lot of people there, and when I got home, people just supported me. Hey, get well soon, get well soon. I did have to go visit a couple little kids that were in the crowd because they were having bad nightmares.
Oh, wow.
And were worried about me. So I went and seen them, and everything was cool. And I remember the very next week, I showed up in the locker room with my gear bag and everything, and Ian watched me come in, and I sat down, and I started getting my boots and everything. He goes, what the fuck are you doing? I said, I'm here. I'm ready to work. He said, no, you're not. I will not put you in the ring till the doctor says whatever. I said, come on, I got my shit. I got stitches. I'm good. I said, we'll cover it up, whatever. No, it ain't going to happen. I said, oh, man. So he wouldn't book me for nothing.
A rare moment of clarity for
It probably the smartest thing ever. I wasn't really thinking. But, we were what we are. You are what you are. You just do what you do. And the next week I showed up with my gear bag. Let's take it to your fucking car. I said, look now, you're going to use me or you're going to lose me. Ha ha! You know me.
Right.
He goes, what are you going to do? I said, just so happens I'm booked at the gathering of the Juggalos. He goes, no. I said, oh yeah, this was the first one. He goes, no, you can't do it. No, you won't use me. I'm going up there. He goes, be safe. He goes, I can't tell you what to do. Be safe. So I go to the gathering of the Juggalos. That's good stuff, right? Big swollen softball on the side of my head. But I'm working Kevin. I'm working Pondo. Great. This is easy.
You had wrestled 1,000,000 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not doing a clock this time. We're good. Everything's great.
No
It's
clocks.
going to be sweet. And we're in there wrestling, and he hits me with something. It's no big deal. I mean, it's part of what we're doing. He hits me with something, and it bounces up and hits my leg. I go, oh, man, I cut my leg. That's all I say. I cut my leg. We keep working, and the next thing you know, I'm like, somebody threw a water bottle up here and hit me. I never look down because that's when you fuck up.
Right.
It's like, just in case it's bleeding, I don't want to see it yet. Not till I have to. We go doing everything, and then they start hearing this suction noise. I go, what is, oh man. Hit the finish, I'm laying there, I look over, I cut a hole somewhere in one of my legs with a light tube.
Oh, man.
And it was just not spraying, it was just rolling steadily down into my boot. And I mean, my socks were just, it was ruined. Everything was, and I was like, that is the grossest thing. And I always blame that on Ian for telling me to be careful. But, so the next day, I'm good to go. What can happen, right?
Man.
You're not going to get hurt again.
Famous last words.
Yes, what can happen? I have a perfect match.
Oh.
To me, it was good enough. Maybe it's like a 1 star, but to me it's perfect. It was perfect. But what I didn't tell nobody was I'm going to get some serious color in this match because it's the last match, and
Right.
I'm not going to be outshined. Me and Evan worked hard. We're going to. So I get my color around my scar. So now that didn't dawn on me. That's not a wise idea because a lot of people freaked out. Oh my God! And there was the EMTs checking on me, and when they got done, they're like, "What are we looking at?" And they go, "He's split his head wide open again. He just did this 2 weeks ago. Nothing here." Well, I don't know where it came from then. I mean, but that's silly. But to me, I can remember that. It was a good. Ian finally, after I came back from the gathering, was like, "Look, you did that shit. All right, next week I'm going to need you." So he used me.
There you go.
There was no doubt doctors. There was never a doctors, but that wasn't his fault. And no, I'm a grown man. I chose to come back.
Right.
Yep.
Looking out for you, making sure you.
Oh, he was great. He always took care of me. Him and Jim Fannin. Jim Fannin worried about me a lot. He was always in our corner. He was always looking out for me. Jimmy was great, especially in Milwaukee, because he hated it up there.
Yep.
So anything I could do to just pick at Jim and make him hate Milwaukee even more was just the greatest thing in the world for me. We would sit with people that I knew Jim hated, and I would pick on Jim and be like, "Well, that's what he said when he was in the bathroom." Jim would get mad. Then Jim would get up and do something like, "Hey, Jim hates you guys." What? So, this is going to be good. Nothing really ever happened. I guess because I always had Jim's back 100%. Right. But I have seen him hit a bunch of people up there.
Jim get angry on the road stories are some of my favorite.
They're the best. They're the best.
And people will, people will say what they want about Jim Fannin. People always called him the dick because he was usually the bad guy to Ian Rotten's good guy. He was bad cop when Ian was a good cop. But if he's your friend, he is loyal to the end. You could kill a man and he'd help you hide the body. Yeah.
Yes.
No doubt.
He is why my youngest son is named Fannin right now.
There you go.
I mean, he's the best. Oh, named after two of the best people I ever been around in wrestling. Fannin Montgomery.
Fantastic. As far as fantastic people go that you had a chance of meeting, IWA was, as things went on, kind of diverse. Brought in a lot of different guys, a lot of different people. So you saw a lot of.
He's trying to get me in trouble.
A lot of young guys coming up. We had one question submitted to us on Tumblr about. I think it was kind of a general question for any of us, but I'd like to direct it towards you. Of what you thought of a lot of the young guys that are kind of big on the indies right now. A lot of guys coming in.
I have no idea who they are. I don't follow it. I don't look at videos of theirs. Partly because every time I'm around, they have better than you attitudes. Everyone I've been around. And until they've come and proven that they don't. I'm not one of these guys that says, you should kiss my ass, worship me. I was here. I didn't pave shit. I don't do that. I don't pave roads. I was just on it just a couple steps before you were.
Right.
I don't want you to look up to me or any. I mean, if you liked what I did, that's great. And I'd like to be entertained by you guys. Not you guys. I'm talking about any, the youngers. Just be.
I'm not entertaining at all.
Just be. No, he's not. He's dry and very irritable and needs to learn how to punch people. But new guys, I don't have a clue who they are. I don't follow any anything. I'm not looking down on them for it. Come up, say, hey, my name is whatever, and that makes me want to watch your match more. Without a hey, what's going on?
If people ask you to watch the match,
yes,
you will critique them.
If you come up and say, I won't even critique you unless that's what you want.
Right.
But if you say, hey, my name is, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw a name. Hey, my name is Mark Wolf. Come see. Hey, watch me work. I think I'm pretty entertaining. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there anyway because Mark's fucking funny. But you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Yeah.
When you just go, hey, what the fuck is hey? All right, gotcha. That's the best. That's the best we got. All right, no problem.
Right.
I'm not going to care to see your match or even read a story about you on the internet. I don't care, and that's rude. But be friendly. I mean, you're still shitting in the same toilet I am at this fucking venue.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't Madison Square Garden,
Right.
idiot. We're in somebody's fucking backyard on their trampoline
Yeah.
while they're on vacation. You're nothing.
Yeah. Well, initially I thought the way you're going with that was people you had met back in the day that nowadays act like they don't know you.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of those.
Yeah, I can.
There's tons of those. And there's pricks and asses. But usually when I get pulled into this conversation, people back away from the table.
Yeah. We don't have to get.
I'll give you.
violent on
I'll
our
give you
podcast.
honest opinions of whoever you want an honest opinion about.
Who's the biggest asshole you've ever met in wrestling?
Biggest asshole I biggest asshole I ever met. The clowns are pretty big assholes. Unless you're willing to kiss their ass. You put the chapstick on and kiss their ass.
They're all right.
Oh, they're your buddy. Put that hatchet man on you somewhere, and they're gonna love you until they don't love you no more, and then you're kicked to the side with a fucking hatchet man on you, and everybody's going, What is that? And you're, this is from a band in Detroit, and they're cool.
Juggalo.
No, they're not.
That's cool,
They're
yeah,
fucking
that's-
Juggalos. I don't give nothing about them. I don't care. They're at Cave and Rock,
Was
right?
there- yeah.
I got it right. First time I ever
Was
got that
there
right.
anyone back? Maybe not towards the end of.
Here's one that I met that I regret meeting. Abdullah the Butcher.
Really?
Regret meeting him. Fucking wish I could take every bit of that back. That's how bad that
Did
is.
it just ruin your perception
Yes.
of him as like? from a
Yes.
fan?
When you got the chance to wrestle him, it ruined everything.
Everything. Every bit of being around
You
him.
never want to meet your heroes.
Never.
That's what I hear.
Unless your hero, and I've never met the man, but unless your hero's Terry Funk, you don't want to meet none of these
He's the man.
motherfuckers because
Yeah,
he's the
he's-
best.
Terry
Yeah.
Funk's the
I've
best.
never heard a bad word, and I've never had a chance. But I met Abdullah, and he's a piece of shit. And that's how I'll say it. I'll say it. He's rude. He thinks he's everything. He's not.
He
He just made me so mad being around him.
did he get in the ring? He got in,
He would get in the ring and then fall out of it.
Right.
And then I would have to fall out of it and pretend like this fucking man. I strongly believe there's no way he can beat me. I'm just saying. I'm going to put that out on
To go to a bit of a lighter note, as far as probably more towards the end of the IWA.
I didn't like being in the ring with Twiggy Ramirez either. Piece of shit.
that's an old school name right
There's
there.
one I thought there.
Late 90s.
Let's talk about gimmick stealing. Boy, Twiggy Ramirez is original, isn't it? Keith came to the ring and just treated me like a piece of crap. I probably hadn't been in the ring 6 months, and he was a piece of shit. The other one was a piece of shit too, but he's everybody's favorite fucking steroid junkie, so I'm not going to trash him, plus he's dead. So I don't care. But they were both worst three-way dance I was ever booked in with two pieces of shit who treated me like I was the piece of shit. No. Fuck them both.
You heard it here, folks. Towards the end of your IWA run, you probably saw a decent amount of the faces that are still around these days. Was there anybody, you don't follow it, but was there anybody that you remember from IWA that you were like, man, that kid's going to be something someday that you want to hear about, that you want to know, hey, what's up with them, that we might be able to fill you in on?
Yes. Whatever happened to Road Dogg? Remember him? He used to always be at shows, and he would wrestle. And now what happened? He was probably the only one.
He formed the Voodoo Ken Mafia in
And-
TNA, and then he died.
There was also
I think he's busy in WWE right now.
Jamie Dundee. He was great. I like being around him. No, I don't care about anybody else really. I know that's wrong, but they don't care about me either.
That's how you gotta do it.
Understandable.
I don't know anybody everybody from IWA that really showed me that I meant something. Address is still there, and phone numbers are still in my phone now. I still talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't talk to him often or a lot, but when I talk to him, I talk to him. We're friends. Corporal, me and him have, you know, Jake, Suicide Kid, still friends. Mark Wolf, you know, Harry Palmer, whatever you want. The guys that are my friends, and I follow what they're doing.
Right.
And to me, that's more entertaining, especially with what I see, because everybody's killing themselves to get to be in the WWE or get a contract when I can turn it on and 9 out of 10 people look the same so much I don't know when a match ends and a new one starts. So if you're 117 pounds and can flip and jump, stop doing it. You're going to break your neck, and you're not going to get a job because you don't look like Orton or Punk or Cena. You know what I mean? So don't risk killing yourself if you know you're not going to do it. You know what they want. They want you. They want to lay out the dough and cookie cutter everybody. When I was growing up, a wrestler, you couldn't tell if this guy was a wrestler or if he just been in a lot of bar fights. You know, it was fucking rugged men. So all these young guys, I don't know who they are. They're doing this and that. Whatever.
Understandable.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. So I can't understand it.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens these days. Sometimes,
Fucking hot in
especially,
here.
you know, you find a young kid you like, and you try to have a program with them in 3 different
You know,
companies, and it dies.
Everybody says, well, what do you think about CM Punk? Yeah, he's an asshole too. You know,
That's
I knew CM
widely
Punk.
known, I'm sure.
I knew CM Punk when he was taking bad bumps on the apron and coming to the locker room crying because his head hurt. My buddies ask how he is. He wants to get all pissy. He's a dick. No. He's good. Congratulations. Glad you're where you're at. Personally, every time I was around you, you was a dick. So.
There you go.
That's it.
I
Folks.
mean, there's a ton of them I can't stand.
We might have to have a separate podcast one day.
Yeah,
when-
just for
I
that.
will come on this thing anytime you guys want, as long as it's entertaining and you're having fun, and I will do my best. But nah.
Well, I've been, myself at least, I've been more than entertained. I've enjoyed having you on, Mitch. It's been a great conversation. The only other thing I want to ask you, kind of along the same lines, is obviously we've heard your opinions on, you know, where wrestling's going. But death matches these days get a lot of criticism. Do you feel that these days, myself, Maniwa too, we are proponents of it. I don't hate on hardcore wrestling, garbage wrestling, deathmatch, whatever you want to call it. My next question would be along the lines of, we've talked about young guys, we've talked about wrestling these days. You know, you watch, you follow the big stuff, you follow the Fed, you know, you watch Raw and shit, right, occasionally?
No.
Not even that these days?
No. Somebody sent me a picture, a text message, and there's a picture of some women that were on WWE. And I was like, who is this? I didn't know who it was. They were telling me that they were meeting them, and something. I don't know who this is. I don't have a slice clue. Well, they come to the ring with so-and-so. I don't know who that is either. I do know that Tyler Black is apparently there.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
Seth Rollins.
That's all I know.
And you've
I've met him. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
you used to torture him in the locker room.
That's what they say. I don't really remember everything I did.
I seem to remember an incident where he had a hole in his jeans.
It was in his trunks. He was
In his
working
trunk.
out in the middle of the floor, had a big hole in his trunks, just displaying everything. Nobody wanted to see it. They said, Mitch, do something about that. Not everybody wants to see this hole in this guy's fucking ass. So I stuck my finger in there and said, boy, get up out of that floor. Nobody wants to see that. And it just escalated from there. When I found out he was a little scared, I couldn't stop. It was just...
Right.
Mitch Page sodomizing 1/3 of the Shield.
And it got back to me that I don't know if it's true, but he apparently had a long talk with the promoter of that show that night and asked if I had been released from jail. Asked if if he needed to worry that maybe I was going to take what I wanted. That's all kind of stuff.
He was
And,
just a little corn-fed Iowa
he
boy.
was-
He'd never seen nothing like that.
Oh, but he could work. He was good.
On those notes of not so much mainstream wrestling and things, but death matches these days, have things gotten, in your opinion, we're all, myself and Maniwa, we're advocates. We're not death match haters. I support wrestling in all of its forms when it's done right. Do you think death matches have gotten too crazy? Is the bar set too high?
Especially,
Yes.
especially with stuff like Hep C scares. There's been a lot of those.
The kids a couple of years ago at Carnage Cup that stabbed each other with a box cutter,
Yeah, there's
just
been-
wild shock value, torture porn, Saw type death matches,
It's yeah, I think they've gone too far. When we were younger and we would see pictures in magazines of barbed wire matches, but yet the barbed wire just happened to be, it was still a little sketchy. You was only seeing pictures, so you didn't really know how it went.
Right.
And now we're seeing, barefoot tacks. I think barefoot thumbtacks, I've never done it. I'm not going to tell you I will do it because I won't.
Right.
I think it's dumb. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I fell off a porch and landed into a bed of cactus.
Oh wow.
Picked them out of me forever. I got sick. You won't see me put a cactus in the ring. I think what's the point? If people
like you
are
said before, you should always be able to tell a story with what you're doing.
exactly. Some people don't know how to do it right. When it's not done right, you don't want to see nothing done. I don't want to see my waitress pour me a glass of water if she can't do it right.
Right.
You don't want to see nothing if it's not done right. And a lot of people are deathmatch superstars that don't know what they're doing.
Do you think guys?
There's
use it as-
people that have been worshipped in the IWA, even worshipped for their deathmatch style. And quite frankly, I don't think they know what they're doing. I think they know how to fall, and they have a high pain tolerance, so they could do all kind of crazy things. But that doesn't mean you're doing it right. I never, one time, and I can stand behind one time I ever got in the ring messed up. But I've seen guys get in the ring with patches on to kill pain. Well, if you're going in there with no pain tolerance right off the bat, you can do anything. But that's setting the bar too high. That's ridiculous. You don't know when you're hurt that way. I would take stuff. I would. I won't deny that. After I was done and I could relax and it helped me. But never one time before that. People already don't know what they're doing. You don't want to be out of your mind a little bit and add more to it. It's crazy. But, yeah, I've seen hypodermic needle matches. That's crazy. Well, why would you even... What's that? What would two grown men in real life want to be doing that for?
Yeah.
It's too far. A lot of people have been burned by fire. Fire doesn't scare me. I mean, when you play with fire, you get burned. Isn't that what they say?
Right.
Well, if you know you're going to play with fire, then you might as well just accept, all right, tonight's the night, I don't get burned real good. Just go on with it. If you're going to mess with barbed wire, but you don't.